They are called benders, dislocators, yogis, acrobats, twisters, and freaks. They bill themselves as the human pretzel, the rubber girl, Dr. Twisto, the amazing Mr. Stretch.
You jumped through a tennis racket.
They travel the world performing on streets, under big tops, in small clubs, theaters, and cabarets.
It's ridiculous.
Incredible.
There's not words for it.
They dazzle you with twists and turns. They shock you with physical impossibilities. They even challenge your basic conceptions of the human form.
You see things that just don't seem normal.
Welcome to the twisted lives of contortionists.
Folks, go nuts! Woo! Yeah! Yeah! All right.
Acrobat Chris Carney has been working the streets of San Francisco for several years.
What's your name?
Daniel.
Daniel?
Yeah.
I'm going to wave my hand over your face. You're going to go into a complete trance. No! Yeah! Here we go. Here we go. You just take this. Yeah, just take this. Here we go. You got that? Just stay in there. I know some people are... Okay, hold on. Okay, here we go. Case closed, and we are in. Okay! People, we're not yet done. The trance is still in existence.
Chris and contortionist Daniel Smith have developed a lucrative way to entertain tourists with their unique performance.
Yeah!
I like shocking people. That's just part of it. I rather say I like to entertain people. Is what I like to do. But shocking is a part of it.
The two know how to work the streets, and they are talented enough to wrangle as much as $750 a day out of visitors' pockets.
You know, you're so nice.
Well, my father told me when I was a young boy, if you find a job you love, you'll never have to work again. So that's kind of been my motto in life.
Yeah.
They travel from one location to another in search of a new audience to stun with Daniel's dislocations. Daniel's friend Leslie Tipton is a classical contortionist.
There's a big difference in styles between Daniel and I because he's trying to shock people. I don't want that at all. I want people to relax and sit back and be able to appreciate it and watch the beauty of it. The act I do, you have to start with a base of natural flexibility and then you train to actually be able to do something with it. It's sort of a natural state for me to be upside down. Ever since I was a little kid, I like to go upside down. When I was 6, we did gymnastics and I could do everything. It didn't even occur to me that it was hard for other people. Help me go back, please.
Slowly. I need a split.
Natural flexibility is not enough. To be the best, you have to recognize your weaknesses and make them your strengths.
She came here and said, Maria, look at me, I'm so good, but my legs are weak. So we started to work on her legs. You're going to put your right leg in front. You're going to do kick, 4 times. Hold, then you're going to rise back to your leg into your balance. Okay, right leg on your toes. 1.
Maria Ivanova is a world-class Russian gymnast. She's been training with Leslie for about a year.
4, okay. And then it appeared that her shoulders needs a bit more flexibility as well, so we are kind of adding this into our program with her. I'll go for a ride.
Just go slow.
Okay, ready?
Yeah. Oh, my shoulders.
Give me more weight.
Oh, it's not too bad.
Thank you.
With the full moon rising, Daniel Smith and his friends emerge to howl at a San Francisco junkyard. Every few months, poets, singers, musicians, contortionists, artists of every stripe meet here to perform. Tonight, Daniel will improvise an extemporaneous duet with a poet who bills himself as Attaboy, the verbal dismantler.
I think we need the pump. Do we need the pump? Get him in the shoulder!
The tables twist. and twist. Cross the fate of this rubber boy who's to be reborn. The mitosis splits, the scoliosis fits, and spits out to you a brand new form of your contorted mind. Let the knot unwind as you're traveling down the mangled path of time. All about blood and the tourniquet effect. And the color tile gets a clear coat. All facts become final as the rubber boy unplugs 2 cords from his spinal.
I think it's extraordinary to see the human body move that way. You can see like the shoulder move, and you know the part of the arm pull out of the shoulder socket and twist around, and it's like an anatomy lesson.
What I thought was most amazing when he was able to like wrap his head all the way around and almost like come up onto the back of his butt.
What's it like being the landlord to the best contortionist on the planet, the most flexible man that there ever was, or probably ever will be? It's very convenient actually, because the room I'm offering for this outrageous price is very, very small.
He's got it down pat. He's got the #1 thing going on. It's ridiculous.
Last couple of months I've been working really hard at circus school and training, and been doing shows on the street and places like this to rehearse for the Contortion convention coming up in Las Vegas.
Las Vegas, home of big-time singers, comedians, showgirls, and gamblers. A city that embraces the brilliant, strange, and unusual. A perfect setting for the International Contortionist Convention, drawing artists from all corners of the globe. The mistress of ceremonies is trainer, manager, and promoter Skay von Schoenig.
You're going to see some of the world's best contortionists.
I'm from Mongolia.
I come from Germany, the north of England.
South Africa.
Mississippi. Japan.
So ladies and gentlemen, please welcome with me Josephine B.
Josephine B. is a 23-year-old contortionist from Germany. At 5'9", she's considered extremely tall for the art form.
I'm very fascinated in contortion, and I like to do flexible my body and my back, my legs. I was 6 years old and I started with gymnastics, and with 18 I started with contortion.
One thing is universal. If you watch a contortionist perform, you will undoubtedly ask, how do they do it?
The normal flexion of a spine to bend over is about at 90 degrees. I know that some of the contortionists that we've seen can go 180 degrees and even further. In the spinal column and also throughout the skeletal system, the ligaments are used for stability. They connect bone to bone. They're like almost like rope. So contortionists that we've seen, their ligaments are so loose and elastic that it allows the vertebra, they can open up a lot wider than normal individuals can.
The next talent we would like to show to you, her name is Jessica De Stefano.
My mother was a dance teacher. She noticed that I had more flexibility as in back bends and front walkovers and limbers and things like that than most of the other students. And she had a background in flexibility.
You need hyperflexibility. You have to be more flexible already when you start.
I was so flexible, and my sister's like, oh, maybe I can take you to school in Mongolia.
Out of the population, only 2% of the people are hyperflexible, which you need to be to actually become a contortionist.
When she was born, this little lady was moving up and down and up and down in her little bed. This little girl was little acrobat.
I've always been able to do this.
Please welcome Jonathan Nassan.
Jonathan Nassam is a world champion gymnast and Fulbright scholar.
I try to make my acts combining strength and power and fluidity and flexibility. To me, it represents a kind of extreme. It's almost like an extreme gymnastics. You know, so it's a whole just kind of metamorphosis of a thing. You know, it's a body, it's a person, but it could be an alien. I want to give a feeling of beauty with a capital B.
Otko Waller is from Mongolia, a country considered to be the source for many of the most talented contortionists in the world.
Contortionist in my country, in Mongolia, it's a very popular art form. It's like a beautiful body language. In Mongolia, we have like a special school for contortionists. I started it like 8 years old, and they teach you everything, art, music, ballet, and that school takes like 3 to 4 years to train. I don't have any pain, so I'm just using my natural flexibility. It feels good. You can see like a lot of face and body, hand, leg, everything's just moving smoothly.
Amazingly, Otko gave birth to her first child just 3 months ago.
After the baby, you have to start all over again. You have to every day just take step by step. And I have to do my push-ups. When I tell people push-ups, they think just a push-up, you know, like a regular, like this. When our push-ups is different. I do it like 10 times. This is the push-ups. This is like a hard trick.
Otko performs the most dangerous stunt in contortionism, suspending her entire body over her neck, supported only by her teeth clenching a mouth grip in a position called the Marinelli Bend.
Start the act off tonight by coming out of this box here. It's 13 inches by 16 inches by 19 inches, which makes it a volume of 18 gallons. Kind of takes you to a different level when you get in a box, because you basically take all your senses away. It's pretty extreme that my head's kind of like turned down here and pushed in the crotch of my pants. This arm's dislocated, and I'm sitting on it here. And this arm kind of so it makes a sill around my head. I actually can't breathe any air. Even if the box had holes in it, I wouldn't be able to breathe. You can't see, you can't hear anything, and you can't move. So it's like, basically, like, it takes all your freedom away. When you take all that stuff away and the box opens up and I get to, like, come out on stage, like, you realize what you have.
Daniel holds the world record for contorting himself into this, a tiny white case. No other man can fit into a tighter space.
I didn't see any other contortionists until a couple of years ago. That's why my act is so different, is because I didn't see someone else's act and say, oh, I want to be like that. Most of my tricks are visions in my head. When I'm on stage, I'm sitting in the audience. I watch it happen, and it's happening as I watch it. In my head, I'm not just like bending and dislocating. I'm like, it's the equivalent of like painting a picture. I'm just doing it with my body. It actually takes me to like different planes of thought.
Extreme stretching is also found in yoga. Hindus assume various radical poses as a ritual to heal the body and link the mind to the eternal. Contortionists have been recorded throughout history. They are represented in Greek, Roman, and Egyptian art. The images were often of beautiful women posing in perilous positions. In the 17th century, the French elevated the art to circus. In the 1800s, benders joined the vaudeville circuit and performed in theaters and halls throughout the world. At the turn of the century, even Thomas Edison found these performers worthy of his first movie camera. Then, in the 1920s, the form hit its peak. Young, attractive women in revealing costumes took center stage in the posh nightclubs of the world. In the 1930s, Jacqueline Hurley was a big hit in New York City night spots with her famous crab walk. Mary Beth Old took the world by storm in the 1950s. Sold-out audiences crammed the one-ring circus to get a close look at her incredible talents. In the 1970s, contortionists were embraced by a small experimental circus from Canada called the Cirque du Soleil.
They were people that were really amusers on the streets, but also they were sure that they had a dream, that they could bring circus to a second level. After a while, they asked for a big top from the government of Quebec, and from this time on, the story grew and grew and grew.
Ochki and Noman have been the stars of the Cirque du Soleil for almost 5 years. They are considered to be the greatest contortionist team in the world.
I started when I was 8 years old with my grandma.
I was 5.
Contortion is a very popular art form in Mongolia. It evolved from traditional folk dancing.
I like to see everybody's face, in the front of us, and then it's all different faces, You can see like, oh my God, some of them is like screaming, excited.
In America, the actual word contortion means to twist or bend unnaturally and violently. In Mongolia, the art form is called Orang Norust, which means exquisitely graceful and flexible.
It's very cool that you can see the people's face, how they do it, After the performance they come, they touch our body,
You have bones?
Make sure that we have bones or anything like that.
I think my family is happy for me.
They're proud for us.
I feel like the Cirque du Soleil is like my family, like big family. We have many friends, school, and like parties. M, like this, but I go like that for my hands.
Daniel has returned from Las Vegas to work with his trainer, Master Louis, at the San Francisco Circus School.
Basically, I come to the circus school because Master Louis is the best contortion trainer in North America, and I want to be the best contortionist in the world.
What do you want to do first? Handstand.
For him to become the best in the world will require hundreds of hours of strength training.
I'm so flexible, my body just wants to kind of wobble like a big wet noodle. Master Louis has taught me to have strength in my flexibility. Basically, all I do really is handstands with him all day long. 6 hours a day, 6 days a week. So 36 hours a week.
What motivates someone to be the best? For Daniel, it's a secret from his past, something that has driven him since early childhood.
My father, he's disabled. He has a neuromuscular disease. And basically the muscles on his body are deteriorating.
At the age of 30, his father, Dennis Smith, was diagnosed with a chronic degenerative nerve disease that put him in leg braces for the rest of his life. What concerns Daniel is that it's congenital, which means he has a 50% chance of contracting it.
I do have fears that I could have it, and so I'm doing all the stuff that I'm not supposed to be doing, that not supposed to be physically able to do. It pushes me a little more to work harder to stay alive, I guess.
What does the medical community think of Daniel's style of contortion?
I haven't seen any of the other contortionists do anything like this.
Is it a dangerous form of self-expression?
He's good. He's really good.
Orthopedic surgeon Dr. Brian Bashner.
He's able to turn his body maybe 70 or 80 degrees. That's definitely a little bit more rotation than the average person exhibits in the rotation of their spine.
Even Dr. Michael Shore, an expert in spinal alignment, can be surprised by a body that challenges the bounds of normality.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive. Even as I try to imagine anatomically what's going on there, it's hard for me to imagine.
In there, he's shoulders out.
Dr. Bashner does have some concerns about Daniel's shocking dislocations.
That's fairly traumatic to the joints. I don't consider the dislocation safe. They can cause permanent damage to the joint. The bony area back here in this column of the spine stays relatively constant in length. So this is how it would open up in the front. And that's what allows them to go backward without causing any damage to the spinal cord.
When you do have a lot of stretching ability, a lot of flexibility, that can minimize the amount of osteoarthritis. We do see that in contortionists and and people in yoga who do quite a bit of flexibility training.
How you doing?
I'm good, buddy.
Oh, wow, it's so good to see you.
I think everybody's running out.
They're out getting snacks. We'll be right back. Luna's here and...
Today is kind of a reunion for Daniel. 3 years ago, a chance encounter with a traveling circus changed his life. He toured with them for 6 months and then moved to San Francisco. Tonight, Daniel has been invited to make a guest appearance.
Your hair's a lot longer. What is this?
San Francisco living.
It is San Francisco living. Like a comb over.
We are the Bindlestiff Family Circus, a traveling circus sideshow vaudeville burlesque troupe based out of New York City. We've been a traveling troupe for about 6 years now. Stephanie, the ringmaster, started performing together about 7-8 years ago as a fire-eating duo, performing around the cabaret scene of New York at that point. And then after a couple years of that and meeting other performers, we decided to take it on the road.
Open up your hearts to the Bindlestiff Family Circus. Open up your arms. Open up your hearts. Open up your minds to the Bindlestiff Family Circus.
Danny traveled with Bindlestiff in August and September of '98. As a founder of a circus and as a person who finds great artistic satisfaction in circus, it makes me really happy to see Daniel do well, and can't wait to see what he does tonight. We were playing in this little bar in Pensacola called Sluggo's, and this very slim young man introduced himself to me and said he wanted to perform in the show. He started to demonstrate that he could twist his hand, you know, his elbow rotates almost all the way around. I was like, yeah, you can jump on stage. So Daniel took the stage for about 2.5 minutes and just blew everyone in that room away.
And then we headed out to New Orleans. He stayed there, and the next day we got a phone call that this person had given away all his belongings and was ready to run away with the circus.
And he turned up at that gig. And he was just like, look, I quit my job. I gave all my belongings away to my friends. I want to come with you. And that was that. I haven't seen him for 2 years, and the change in his body is amazing. I used to worry about him all the time. It would be alarming to watch him sleep because his body would just flatten out into a little puddle. And so I was very glad to see that he got really strong.
Since I last had been with him, it was an entirely new show. and it just like engulfs me in it. So it just overwhelms me. There's not words for it.
3 months after his performance with the Bindlestiff Circus, Daniel cut his hair and headed for Hollywood. Specialty act agent Chuck Burns has arranged an audition with a traveling European-style one-ring circus.
I'm taking you to Circus Vargas right now, so you can meet Roland Kaiser. Roland is co-owner of the show, and I've known Roland for, gee, I guess 45 years. We met on the Ringling Show years and years ago. Okay, there it is. Okay, here we go.
I've never actually worked for a real, honest-to-goodness circus, and I think I'd really enjoy it. There'd be lions and elephants and sawdust, and I'd live in a trailer, I think, and then I'd be in a show every night, have like, hundreds of people staring at me. It'd be beautiful.
Good, healthy life.
Yeah, good,
healthy life. Oh, here he is. Hi, Roland.
Hello, Chuck.
How are you?
Fine. Long time no see.
I know. I brought somebody to meet you. This is Daniel Browning-Smith.
I know.
He's an extreme contortionist, and I thought maybe you might like to see what he does and maybe think about him for next season. And do the leg thing. Do the leg thing.
So you know the whole routine.
I know, well, yeah. Yeah. So he's self-taught, and he's only been performing professionally for a little over 3 years. Great,
Very
huh?
good. Very good.
Yeah, this box actually is a larger box than he uses. That's just strictly for a picture. He was on Guinness World Records prime time doing that.
Very good, Daniel. I really would like to have you, but it's too late because my season is all booked. I mean, my program is all booked.
Yeah.
But for the following year,
I know.
providing you don't outprice yourself. Well, thank you for bringing them out. And who knows? Maybe
That's
next
right.
year, but don't wait till the end.
Flexible women can make a good living using their contortion talents to pose for photographers. Leslie Tipton is preparing for a big corporate event using a new table that she has designed.
This is the table I will be performing on tomorrow night. That will be the first time. It's kind of small. That's gonna do the job. It's slippery. What I like about performing right now, I guess, is that it challenges me. So when you're standing on a 4-foot tall platform on this stage and there's 5,000 people staring at me, if you have any self-confidence issues, they're coming out. Now I'm thinking a lot. I take my existing, I have sort of combinations, handstand and contortion combinations I generally use. And I'm going to take more or less those existing combinations and try to fit them on this table to this music. I generally work for 500 to 1,500 a night. Somewhere around 1,000 is pretty average, but if I like, sometimes there's a cause I want to do, like I do benefits sometimes, and then I'll do those for really cheap.
Oh my God.
Hey, we went to Leonard Skinner concert when we were kids.
Daniel's big sister, Dawn, has come to Los Angeles for a visit.
Yeah, I remember when we were kids, he was probably like 3, I was older. All our friends would come over and play dark hide and go seek. We always played that when we were younger. And we would never be able to find him. He would be in the sock drawer or like in the tiniest little crevices and then when we would wake up in the morning, sometimes we couldn't even ever find him then. We'd look all over for him all in the house and he'd be sleeping all curled up in some funky position with his like legs back and his head all bent around, and you just couldn't even imagine like how he could even sleep like that. He was a pretty weird kid.
I wouldn't mind being a cowboy. I think that would be great, a contorting cowboy. It's kind of tight. See, I can't really do much in this shirt at all. I feel like I'd rip it apart. The mission of my clothes is to show who I am, but not get in the way of what I do. I don't think that's going to work. Can't decide. I was in Austin, Texas, and my friend made me a pair of pants. And so I'm on this little pedestal. I walk underneath myself like this, and it put tremendous stretching here and ripped the crotch out in front of 600 people, and I just had to pretend that I did it on purpose. This is definitely something that I would wear, just because it has tennis rackets on it.
You might have to buy this.
Yeah, I think I might. But it doesn't really feel like me. When contortionists actually began contorting, it was a type of dance, all designed to imitate an animal, and the contortion originated from imitating a snake. Okay. Do what I need to do. It's not gonna. I think this might be it.
I don't have time to go shopping usually, because usually show days I get busy, so whatever there is, that's what you eat. Today I'm eating grits. I don't follow any special diet at all. I try to eat things that make me feel good, but I do that even if I'm not a contortionist, so. You are what you eat. Of course, sometimes I'm performing just because it's my job and I need to pay rent and eat. But overall, I perform because I'm hoping that if people see the human body doing something that they didn't think it could do necessarily, it will broaden their view of all of life.
While waiting for his first big break, Daniel goes back to working the streets.
LA's going to be an excellent thing for me, aiming to be in a movie, so this is the place I need to be to do that.
Tonight it's the Bill Graham Presents Christmas Party, so I know it's going to be mostly men between the ages of probably 25 and 45, so it's easy.
What does that mean?
They're easy to please.
Awesome.
Well, they'll be partying and I'll be wearing small clothes, and that's good enough. I don't even have to do anything. Okay. That's it. All done.
Packing my stuff up, I'm about to go on a trip, go home to Mississippi. So first I'm going to pack all my stuff up and take it to San Francisco and put it in my apartment there. I decided I want my nephew to be as pimpin' as I am, so I got him a little baby pimp suit. Bye-bye, LA.
Probably the best job I've ever had has been with this circus, with Cirque Éloise, because to date, every time we've performed the show, we've gotten a great standing ovation.
We're headed to Meridian, Mississippi, place I grew up. Population around 50,000 people. I'll be happy to see my dad. Jimmy Rogers, the father of country music, is from Meridian. Daniel Smith, the Contortionists. There it is, Meridian High School. I was considered a troublemaker here for some odd reason. They would suspend me for anything they possibly could.
It's been 2 years since Daniel has seen his dad.
My father, he likes to play folk music on his guitar, and I always wanted to be a writer and write songs. And his dreams didn't come true, and so I kind of inherited some dreams from him, and I have to make it because he didn't.
I realized that Daniel was a little unique when he was at a very young age, but well before he went to school. I caught him jumping off his bunk beds, and he would take a leap off his top bunk and spread his feet out as a real split and hit the floor. And I went to the library.
And he got pictures of contortionists and brought them home and showed them to me. And I basically sat there and tried to do what was in the picture until I could.
What do you think, Dad?
I told you I was too big for this town.
The next morning, Daniel leaves Meridian and heads south to work the streets of New Orleans.
After I get done in New Orleans, I'm going to be back in San Francisco, and I think I'm going to train some more at circus school, learn some more acrobatics. I need more speed and strength, and I have all these visions in my head. I want to be the best contortionist in the world.
I plan on doing contortion professionally, full-time, for about another year. And after I do contortion, I'll probably go back to school and become a physical therapist. I might teach, who knows? I don't know.
It's fabulous. It's so graceful. It's just beautiful. These people looked like they were dancing.
I just think it's a lovely thing. I don't consider it unnatural at all.
I like extreme things, that people are so creative that they've actually gone to the trouble to do that with their bodies.
Contortion because I do a lot of stretching. So that when I see a contortionist taking the stretching to an extreme, I think, wow, that looks awesome and it's got to feel awesome. Wish I could do that.
I don't think that contortionists are extremists because for us the positions aren't extreme. Like for me, I might be able to touch my head to my butt, and you might only be able to bend backwards 3 inches. We're doing the same amount of work.
There's no way that an average person is going to like work hard enough to become a contortionist. You're either born with it or you're not, but it depends on how far you take what you have.
Explore worlds you've never seen before. Check out Discovery.com anytime. Up next, examine the rebirth of body adornment. From ancient tribal rituals to fashion fads, find out why some people can't get enough on body piercing.
Who shock and amaze audiences with their